Hello YouTube, welcome to HK Cowboys channel. My name is KtheMagnificent and today I'm going to reflect on the Dark Below DLC from Destiny. Apparently Bungie is going to give a release date very soon for the next DLC, called House of Wolves, which is the second DLC that all of us expansion pass customers have already paid for. The expansion pass was priced at $40 basically across the board, so that's $40 in the US and £40 in the UK. £40 in the UK is about $59 in America, which means we paid quite a bit more for the same DLC. This happens a lot with products going international. It happens with technology and gaming a lot, so normally I just roll my eyes at it and think typical, but considering the content of the Dark Below, or lack thereof, I'm feeling the pinch a bit worse than usual. So let's assume that £40 for two DLCs essentially means each DLC is worth £20. That's a lot for DLC. For that kind of price you expect something huge and game-changing like the Ballad of Gay Tony for GTA 4. Is the Dark Below game-changing? Not in the way you want it to be. The most obvious thing to come out from the DLC is Crota's End, the hive raid on the moon. Now I'm a big fan of Crota's End. Beating Crota is incredibly satisfying and a lot of the gear is really great, and it's also so different from the Vault of Glass that I do truly believe that it's a wonderful addition to the game, but it's not enough to warrant such a high price tag for the DLC. What about the strikes? Well, for us bottom-feeding Xbox users, we only got the one, Omnigul, and boy howdy is that strike shit. It's easily the worst strike in the game. Between the pointless mob densities, Omnigul's shrieking, or Eris's incredibly obnoxious narration, it's just hands down a dull, irritating strike, and on top of that, it takes ages to burn the crying bitch. When the DLC came out and Bungie were determined to make us play Omnigul as the Nightfall every other week, it made her seem even worse. They tried to do it to exclusify the DLC and make people who didn't buy into it feel like they were missing out, but they also made all the people who did buy the DLC be sick to death of it and wish the Nightfall was anything else instead. The same thing happened with the daily story missions. The story missions in the DLC are really shockingly shite. They'd be fine as story missions themselves if it wasn't for the fact that it was just 3 missions for some apparently huge DLC. It's a completely pointless rammed in missions, it's such a waste, and yet again they're used constantly as the daily missions, for weeks after the DLC first came out. I stopped doing the dailies out of sheer boredom, and yet again those who didn't buy the DLC were exposed to basically a paywall. You also had the bounties from Eris, which just pushed you to grind and grind for little to nothing of any worth. Lastly, there is the 3 Crucible maps, which are admittedly very cool, but 3 multiplayer maps used to be like a $5 for Halo, so again, where's the fucking cost? I could understand financially spending maybe £12 at a push for this DLC. £5 for the maps, £5 for the raid, and £2 to swallow the shite fest that is the strikes and story, but spending £20 on a disappointment is just a hard pill to swallow. I said before that the Dark Below is game-changing but not in the right way. Well, by this is kind of what I mean. What kind of DLC forces you to play only those aspects and gets you to resent it? What kind of DLC purposely makes you nostalgic for the lesser content of before? The Dark Below just seemed like a massive misfire with a damn good raid to save face. Hopefully Bungie have learnt their lesson about half-baked DLCs, and maybe House of Wolves would be a little better. Maybe that's why it was originally delayed. Or Bungie are pulling a Rockstar. Let's fucking hope not. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you're into that sort of thing, and let us know what you thought of the Dark Below DLC in the comments. K out.